1, 2. One, two. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or the gatekeeper of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother number 1 and your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Well, here we are on a Sunday, and I thank those who are joining me right here on time. How you doing, Kendrick? Right? Shalom. Do I read the Holy Bible? Of course. Not like I used to, but I read the Bible, and I don't know how holy it is, but yes, I do. And I have read the Bible coming from a Christian and Muslim background. Yes. And even though I am not a believer or I don't acknowledge God, these books, Quran and Bible, are filled with certain wisdom that we can use. This is one of the reasons of why both Bible and Quran have been around for a very, very long time. In fact, if you actually practice what is written in the Bible and Quran, the way that it's presented, because there are a lot of contradictions, that's a problem. But if we practice the way that we're taught, minus these contradictions, then we should be doing pretty well. Both Bible and Quran suggest that the human being become what we call a righteous person. And I can concur. It is best that we become what is called a righteous person. It is in our best interests. However, living in a world where evil, nasty and foul things, they are made to look good. Drinking, drugging, whoremongering, and the list goes on and on. These things are made to look fair seeming or good. And this is a problem because we want to have fun. And being a righteous person, we think that we can't have fun. You have to get drunk out of your mind. You have to chase every pair of panties down the street that you see. That's having fun. Getting drugged out, laid out in the street in the gutter, falling over down the stairs and laughing and throwing up. Oh, we're having a good time now. So yes, even though I don't acknowledge God, I read these books that we have called holy because of the wisdom. However, I understand and know what to keep and what to throw away. I know what is contradictory. Is that how you say it? Because I am not an English scholar. People always tell me, you don't know these big words and you don't know how to pronounce this and that. I'm not here, and I've never said I was an English scholar. In fact, as you know, English is a bastard language anyway. So what? But I wish to bring a message that is simple. I don't want to impress you with these long words, because that's not what I'm about. You want people to understand and comprehend, even little children. That is why I love the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because as a child of 7 and 8 years old, I was able to read Message to the Black Man, The Fall of America, How to Eat to Live. All the writings of the Nation of Islam was very, very simple. A child could understand. And that's what I attempt to do. Matter of fact, that's probably one of the main reasons of why so many really don't like me, because when I present something, I present it very simply and to the point. There's no room left for argument. What is there to comment about? What is there to argue about? I brought it to you at the very core, very simply. What do you want to argue about? There's nothing to talk about. So when you watch a lot of my videos, you don't hear or see a lot of comments. There's nothing really to comment about. What are you going to talk about? I've tried to cover simply the whole topic from the back to the front to the back. With that said, I am expecting guests. I don't know. Brother Leon, how you doing, man? What up? How's you and your wife? How the children's? Glad to see you here. Yeah, I'm expecting some brothers who asked me they want to join the conversation. So I don't mind at all. I can turn this video lecture into just a simple discussion, because I love to talk with our people. It's not always about me. I want to hear what's going on with you. It's not always about me. All right. I'm glad to hear that, Brother Leon. And see, I don't know where you go, these other channels, but this channel is not about me. It's about us and what we want to do. If you don't want to do nothing, then I guess, well, we're not going to do nothing. If we want to do something, then we will do something. It's not about me. You're not going to place blame and put all the responsibility on me when this should be about us. Joel, how you doing? Yes, sir. Thank you for being here. I'm going to try to do the best I can to keep it real. That's the only way to be, is to be real as you can be. Accept the reality of your situation. That's the real solution. You have to understand the reality of what you have to deal with. Anything other than that, you're just not going to make it. Simple as that. And I know this from personal experience. Fictional, fantasy type solutions do not solve real problems. That's the bottom line. It might make you feel good, like going to see the Black Panther, which I like the Black Panther. I'm a comic book fan. But I understand that's not going to do nothing to help my situation, the Black Panther. So with that said, thank you for liking that video on the Black Panther. I like that video too. Even though I was tired. You know, a lot of times I make videos because I have the time, but sometimes I just be so tired. I stumble over my words more than I normally would, and I just be tired. But like I always tell us, tomorrow is never promised. So I got to get the sleep out of my eyes, try to straighten up, turn this camera on, and speak, because I may not be able to speak tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. But I am glad that you are here today, this moment. We know we have this day. We know we have this time right now. So with that said, again, I'm going to speak, do this. I don't want to take a lot of your time. Maybe an hour at the max. It shouldn't take long. But I'm going to begin this video lecture, and I do expect some company, and I will stop talking at that time when the brothers show up, should they join the conversation. But it will be on this topic, and the topic that I've chosen for this afternoon is, what did I choose? Oh, yeah. Black conscious or Black power will never be successful. That Black power bull crap will never be successful. It has not been successful. You have had successful moments. If you go back and look at Marcus Garvey, the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, and the list goes on and on. They had successful moments, but when it was all said and done, the reality is they failed. But I give all of my ancestors who tried, because they really didn't know who they was dealing with or how to deal with them. They didn't know. So you and I who live today, we have an advantage because of their mistakes, because of their success. We should be able to deal with this enemy in a much better manner than they did. And I also want to remind us, especially during the civil rights era, many of these brothers and sisters who was fighting the oppressor, remember, many of them was young people. Dr. King was in his 20s. Malcolm X was in his 20s. The Black Panther Party, Huey B. Newton and all these brothers and sisters, they were young folks. The older people weren't doing a damn thing, clearly. So the young people had to stand up. And that's why I always suggest to my younger brothers and sisters, stop listening to these old heads. They are not going to guide you right. Many of them will be dead within the next 10, 20, 30 years anyway. They don't give a damn. They don't have to live with this. And they were not successful anyway. So why are you going to continue to listen to a bunch of losers who take your money and live a nice life? That's not what leadership is about. That's not what I'm about. If I can drive a Mercedes-Benz, you will drive a Mercedes-Benz. Otherwise, I don't want one. Whatever I got, you should have. Good afternoon to you, Sister Sharon. Good afternoon. I'm glad to see you here. This has turned out to be a very wonderful day for me. I'm glad to be here with us. I don't know about tomorrow, not interested, but right now, we're doing very well. With that said, let me get into this video lecture and let us go home. And I hope that I bring something to us that we can think about. Now, let me start this by saying this. Okay. Semi-truck. We know what a semi-truck is. We know what a train is. Okay, a semi-truck is followed by a trailer. A train is followed by cars. When we look at the human body, the leader is the mind, the brain. We're looking at leadership. When we look at a body of people, we also need a head. We also need a tractor. We need a train. We need something that's going to lead the body of people. So who is the leaders in the so-called Black community, the Black conscious community, the community of the African American, however you want to call us, because that's confusing in and of itself. We have not even come to the point where we can actually identify who we really are. Is it the Congressional Black Caucus? Are they our leaders? Is it the preachers on every corner? Ministers? Is it our educators? Who is the actual head of this body of people? Well, it goes back to the mind. It goes back to the head. And I would tell you, even though this topic might seem negative, Black power will never be successful. It's not negative at all. I'm talking about the head or the leaders of the people. Now, the Black conscious community, those of you who come to this channel, those of you even on Sonetta TV, Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple, the Hebrew Israelites, don't you know that we really are the head? We are the awakening of the mind. I was sitting in my car a couple of nights ago and just sat back in my community and just watched brothers and sisters go back and forth at a store, listen to their conversations, because you know how we talk loud. So I'm listening to the conversations, and the sisters with their children and brothers with their girlfriends, sisters with their husbands, and just life in the community. And we are really gone. And the reason why we are really gone is because something has happened to the head. If the mind is not right, then you cannot expect nothing from the hands or the feet or no other part of the body, because something has happened to the mind. And the mind of this body of people are those of whom are supposed to be awakened in the mind. That's why many of you say, well, I'm awakened. I can see now that the clouds are gone. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. The rain is not there no more. But you cannot tell because the body is not in sync with the head. Because the head, something is wrong with the head. And that is the problem. The best that we are producing is the Black conscious community, the Black power community, whatever you call yourself, the Hebrew Israelites, whatever. We are the best. I don't care how different we are.
Okay. Received Sunday, February 11th, 2:19 p.m.
I don't care how different we are. Our mentality, we understand that we are in our oppressed condition. And the masses of our people going up and down the street, back and forth, they don't see themselves. It's just life for them. What was it that Harriet Tubman said? She said, I freed 1,000 slaves and could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. The majority of our people, they don't know they have a problem. They don't know they are slaves. From Oprah to the little fella in the street. This is the only life they know. So the head, which is the Black conscious community, Black power community, it is our responsibility to awaken the body so that you can respond properly to your oppression, to your incarceration. But the body cannot respond because the head is not right. There are too many different points of view. There are too many of us arrogant. There are too many of us selfish, know-it-alls. You don't recognize your potential. You don't understand that this community, you want to blame Farrakhan, you want to blame Sonetta, Sarah Sudi Pharaoh. It is all of us who have been awakened. Don't you know that makes you special? Don't you know that makes you special? Or maybe it's a burden.
I'm looking at the Reality's temple. It's not showing you lit. Received Sunday.
Because sometimes, excuse me, my phone is messing with me here. But sometimes That really threw me off. But what I'm saying here is that you are awakened. You might not be awakened fully, but you're awakened. You are in much better shape than the majority of our people out here. And all of us who claim to be awakened and know, we have a responsibility to bring that body together in accord with the head. But right now we are so, well, actually the word is, you are so, and we are so into ourselves. You don't care about this arm. You don't care about this leg. It's all, it's an eye thing. You're not looking at the whole of the body. When we really need all of us need to be together. And if you don't want to be together, then you must want to die. You have doomed your children and the future of your babies. You have doomed them because of your arrogance. It's simple as that. You don't have to like the Nation of Islam, but we need them. You don't have to like Sunnata. We need that. We need us to be together. If we can't be together, y'all might as well just go in the backyard, take a 38 and go boom. Might as well get it over with, because it's a done deal. Only unity can solve this problem. And once you become unified, you have to act in the appropriate manner. And it's easier than you believe once you do this. All right, let me see something here. Let me stop real quick. Okay, Brother Craig, I'm gonna send you the link right here. It's already in the chat room. I'm gonna do it again. You should be able to click on that link and come on into the conversation. Okay. Now, sorry for that, for the interruptions here. I did inform us that did have a brother or brothers wanted to join the conversation. So let's see what happens here. Okay. It's a lucky thing I make notes. So when I get thrown off, I can try to find my way back to where I was at. Woo! The problem in our community is that we don't want to face and can't accept our reality. And until we embrace reality, we will never be successful. We will never come up out of this condition. Now, we are special. Those of us who are awakened, we're special. You just don't know how special we are, and we have a great potential if we act appropriately. We're not acting and behaving appropriately. That's why we can't progress forward. We have this mentality, I don't need you. If you don't agree with me, I don't need you. That's not how things work. You will have a little personal success, whatever success means to you. I don't know what success means to you. But you will never be able to move this body. You will never become this tractor. You will never become this train. You will never become the leader that you really have the potential to be a good leader for our people. The 40 to 70 million that's out there, and they are waiting, and they actually want to be led. But in 2018, they're not foolish. They're not silly. You got to show that you got what it takes. Look, I want to use a religious analogy. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. And I am not making no claims to be divine. As you know, I don't mess with that type of stuff. I'm not special. I'm just your little brother trying to bring us something from my experience. But we pray to God, and we expect God to answer our prayers. However, you have a problem with your God, not me, because I don't acknowledge God. You have a problem with your God because you think that God is supposed to answer your prayer the way you believe God should. That's not how things work. God does, according to your belief, what he pleases, not what you please. And if it's God's work, then you should be able to recognize that if you are tuned in to your God. Does God answer your prayers? I think that God is probably answering your prayers. You just reject the solution. You don't want it because it's not the way that you think that it should be. God uses whom he pleases, according to the teachings. God can even use Satan himself in order to bring a resolution to a problem. See, this is the thing about God that I question. Now, if God can bring a prophet or raise a prophet or a messenger from among a people, then why can't God do the same thing to the so-called Negro? According to the teachings of the Nation of Islam, a mulatto guy from Arabia had to travel thousands and thousands of miles to come here to teach the so-called Negro. What sense do that make? Why can't God raise his angel, raise his messenger, raise a prophet from among the so-called Negro himself, and that person actually looks like the Negro? Not some Arab, not some mulatto, not some whatever, actually look like the African Americans. This don't, to me, that don't even make any sense. But I also can believe, since y'all believe, then it's also a possibility that God actually is doing that. What are y'all with me? I'm not losing you here. See, because actually you look in the mirror and the messenger really is you. It's really me. Your prayers have been answered. It's coming from you. The problem is you're not looking into yourself and you're not able to see outside of these things that we have been taught from the past. That's over and done with. It was not successful. It was a failure. Why are you holding on to these things? So now, is it a coincidence maybe? Like I said, I'm not special or divine. Is it a coincidence that as a certain group of people murdered Malcolm X or was planning the murder of Malcolm X, that God was raising another? Is it possible? So as they plan in the Quran says as they plan, Allah also plans, and he is the best of planners. So as they are planning the murder of Malcolm X, God is also raising somebody to take his place. And God will always raise somebody to take the place of those who come to fight the oppressed until the oppressed are made liberated and free. Isn't that how it goes in religious text? Are you free? Are you liberated? Well, then somebody needs to continue to come to bring you a message, to bring you what you need in order to liberate yourself from that oppression. Is it a coincidence that I chose the name Angel Snupnup 7? An angel from among the people? I I didn't come from Arabia. I didn't come from the Sudan. I didn't come from somewhere in China, Peking, right here from among the Negro, with a message that is different. Something out of the box, out of the ordinary, because that's what you need. You need something out of the box, a new strategy, a new way of looking at things, because clearly what was done in the past did not work. So you need a new way of looking at things. And you can keep your Quran, you can keep your Bible, all these things that you hold on and loyal to, you can keep those things. Because I can work with all of it. The problem is you're not working with it in the appropriate manner. Not that it can't be successful, but we're not using what we have in the best manner. So as they murdered Malcolm X, that organization was dismantled, it was destroyed. They had to rebuild. But as they rebuild, when they come back into existence, it's no longer a piece of cake. Now they have opposition. They have people that will challenge the so-called wisdom and knowledge. Oh, I think my guest has finally shown up. How you doing?
Peace, my good brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you and see you, brother. Brother Craig.
Okay, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, just here, to support the, the live stream that you do every Sunday, How you doing, man?
I'm fine so far. Not every Sunday. I'm trying to make it every Sunday, but
right.
Got you. But I think if I did it every Sunday and be consistent, it would probably be, better views, and it'd be a better thing because people would expect me, here on Sunday.
Right. Okay.
It's very difficult because, unfortunately, like some of these folks who get thousands and thousands of dollars in donations, I can't do. I'm telling you, I just be so tired, man. It's just, I'm tired now, but I'm doing, I'm going to try to get through this subject here. And anytime you want to say something, Brother Craig, feel free to, step in there. All right.
Okay, definitely.
All right. Okay. All right. My brother Craig is in the house. So we are all special. We are all the angels. We have the potential to bring our people out of this situation once and for all. Once and for all. This is a done deal if you do it right. And you can do it right because the answer is here. Marcus Garvey didn't have the answer. Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, they did not have the answer. The Black Panthers, Dr. King, they did not, and it was not meant for them to have the answer. However, because of their efforts, because of what they went through, now we have the solution. Whether you believe it or not. How do you know you got some solution? How do you know I don't have the solution? You haven't tried it. But all these other things that we've tried it. Are they being successful? No, the people are not even interested. Our people should be talking about this struggle. They should not be in the street talking about the Black Panther movie or the new liquor that's coming out, the Super Bowl. Their minds should also be on the struggle. If the masses of our people are not thinking that they are in an oppressed state, then we have failed. Those of you who claim to be awakened, you have failed, and you are not taking responsibility to put our people in that state of mindset. And you should be shaming yourself. You would rather sit back and lollygag. And that's not what I'm about. I'm not about it. This is serious business. Now, I can bring this to a conclusion let me wrap this up real quick. And perhaps myself and Brother Craig and y'all and anybody, you can feel free to join the conversation. Even write your comments in the chat room. I'm watching the chat room, and I answer questions or present the comments so everybody can. So this is about us. It's not about me. Now, let me say this. See, there are things that I want to say, but I really can't say because we need the element of surprise. Now, if it come down to it, if you do things right, it don't make no difference. There was a movie called Billy Jack. And Billy Jack was talking to this stupid sheriff. I think it was a sheriff. And Billy Jack told the sheriff, I'm going to put this right foot up against the left part of your face, and there's nothing you can do. And the sheriff looking at Billy Jack's right foot and know where his left part of his face is. There's no way that you can kick me in my face coming from way down there up here. And he's laughing at Billy Jack. Next thing you know, Billy Jack put his right foot up against the left part of this dude's face. There's nothing he could do about it. That's how confident you have to be in yours. You're going to tell somebody, I'm going to punch you in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. And there's nothing they can do about it. See, you're dealing with an enemy here that is, you underestimate these people. They are very smart, very wise. They have not become rulers of the earth because they were stupid. Now, they did use a lot of brute force. There's no doubt about that. But in order to stay in power, it's not about force. They are very wise, they are very smart, they are very intelligent. And you don't know how to deal with them. You know why? Because you're thinking like a slave. You're not thinking like a free person. You acting out of emotion. Emotion don't help you. Believe me, I was locked up for 10 years and I was very emotional every day. I called these people the children of Adolf Hitler and called them different names. I was very emotional. Didn't mean a damn thing. They looked at me and said, well, I'm glad you got that out of your system. See you tomorrow. That's all, you know, with all that emotion that I expressed. Don't mean nothing. Being emotional. The reason why many of us like the Black Panther movie is because it feeds emotion. It's not going to change your condition. It just makes you feel good. You know, like that, like when you go to the liquor store, you know, get your spirits. It's just something that make you feel good. That's all. But it does nothing to change your condition. Matter of fact, it makes it worse because your feeling good causes you to do nothing except sit on your ass. So there's things that I would like to say, but I'm not going to say it at this time because you do need the element of surprise. However, I could say it and there's nothing they could do. That's how confident I am in what we need to do, but I can't do it by myself. Matter of fact, speaking of myself, let me use myself as an example. Again, as many of you know, I was incarcerated 10 years in the Department of Mental Health. And you know what they told me? They told me, you will never get out of here without our approval. So you can screw around all you want to, be emotional, call us devils or whatever the hell you want to. You will not leave here alive without our approval. It has not been done in 100 years. It is impossible. Did you hear what I said? They told me it was impossible. Welcome to the conversation, Brother John Henry. What does it mean to be impossible? What impossible? Impossible means can't be done. This is what they told me. It can't be done. But as you know, certainly I must have done the impossible because I'm talking to you right now. And I was able to get from up out under their control without their damn approval. And do you know why? Because you have to stop being emotional and you have to learn how to think about the situation, understand the reality of what you're dealing with, understand the situation that you're in. Hollering and screaming and all that type of stuff, it feels good, but it does nothing to solve your problem at all. So when I got the right information, see, that's it. The right information, understanding the situation that you're in, that will solve your problem. And coming from a personal point of view, it almost did it immediately. I was able to get just a little taste of power to fight back. That's all I needed. And I gave them boys hell. Do you know how I feel when these old racist pink crackers telling you that you're going to die, making fun of you every day? Do you know how I feel when the shoe starts to come on the other side and they were smiling and grinning and skinning? Then all of a sudden, the smiles start going away. They start getting worried. Every time I write something, I wonder what he's doing. You know, it was fun messing with these people. And see, that's the way it would be if Black conscience, if Black power did things the way that it needs to be done, we would be in the same position, laughing at them. I don't care what nuclear bomb they got. I don't care what AK-47 I got. Their tanks. I don't care what they have. You and I would be laughing at them the way they have done at us going on 500 years, using their law, using their policy. See, this is the thing. You have to put yourself in a position so that you can be on the offensive. 500 years, the soul brothers and sisters of this nation, we've always been on the defensive. We always have to defend ourselves against these beasts. You need to put yourself on the offensive. Dr. King, Malcolm X, all our freedom fighters before us always was on the defensive. They never was able to get to the point where they was on the offensive, always on the defensive. Okay, if I do this, what this cracker gonna do? No, the cracker needs to know, what are we gonna do? And see, I was in that position. Oh man, it's a good feeling. Y'all just don't know. I didn't even want to leave that place. I was having fun with them bastards. I'm telling you, I didn't even want to leave. I was able to do the impossible. The impossible can't be done. See, they couldn't brainwash me to make me believe that. I always felt it could be done. Some of us, the reason why we won't do nothing is because we have that mentality, it's impossible. It can't be done. That's why you don't want to do nothing. You look at our people and you shake your head, oh, it's impossible. It can't be done. Don't you know, I was able to unify so-called crazy people. Now, these people are labeled insane, criminally insane. I was able to unify them. But here you are, not supposed to be crazy, and you don't want to unite with nobody. What? That don't even make any sense. So who really is the one that is insane? And when I was able to unite the so-called insane people, we gave them hell. Here you are, you free. You don't want to unite and you don't give nobody hell. You continue to allow them to live happily in their heaven that 300 years of slavery built for them. And you don't have no problem with that. You have to stop being so emotional and think. And you have to understand that we need each other. the black conscious, black power, African American, Hebrew Israelite, Nation of Islam, whether y'all like it or not, you need Angel Snuffing Up 7. You need me. You need me to bring something different to the struggle. But the problem is, you want a fan club. You're not interested in the liberation of the people. You will not introduce the people to what I present because that would take away your money. Because you have a lot of these suckers out here. They are making a living off black struggle, liberation of the oppressed. That's how they're making their living. And they will even tell you, thanks for your donation. You helped me feed my family. That's how they're making their living off the struggle. That's not how it is. I'm not here to make a living off of you. If I ever done that, believe me, I'm working for you. I don't care nothing about fancy cars. I don't care nothing about fancy houses. I'm working to liberate us from a damn devil going on 500 years, once and for all. I don't want your children. I don't want my grand relatives, because I don't have any children. Probably won't never get any. Really don't care for real right now. That's a personal thing. But I don't want to see your children are my children. Any child that's out here that is a descendant of slaves born in America, having dark skin, that's my child too. You are my brother. You are my sister. You my uncle. You my aunt. See, we're family. We don't view ourselves as family. If they shoot you down in the street, they got to deal with me too. We're family here. We don't see ourselves as that. Now, let me take this to conclusion real quick so that you can quickly understand. Because, see, there's a lot of things that we can do. We can use old strategy, but you have to use it in a different way. Marching, boycotting, voting. We can use all that. Beautiful stuff. It was effective. But the reason why it did not make it successful, because most of the time, we stop. We go to a certain point and we stop. When you're in a fight, you have to keep punching. You got boom, boom. You got to keep pumping till you get to that sucker, lay on the ground and stay on the ground. What we are used to doing is we'll punch a little bit, knock them down on the ground, and we'll let them get up. Next thing you know, they done knocked us out. That's not a fight. That's not how you fight. When you fight, you punch and you kick. That sucker lay down and make sure he stay down. You understand? But all these things, voting, education, I don't have no problem with all these different solutions that y'all talk about. Me personally, I don't have no problem with none of that. It's the way that you use it effectively. Number one problem is we who are the head, those of us who claim to be awakened, we are the head. We must live a lifestyle and present an image that the people can be inspired to help us and join us in the struggle. But they look at Black YouTube right now, and they look at us, and we're so divided and beefing and crazy. Nobody wants to join that. Get out of here. Nobody wants to be a part of that. You wouldn't want to be a part of it either if you was on the outside looking in. They look crazy. Umar Johnson beefing with Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Boyce putting in his 2 cents, and then you got Sin G and then Sanetta. You got all these people doing all this crazy stuff. And who wants to be a part of that madness? I'm glad, in a way, I'm glad that they don't want nothing to do with me, because I don't want to be part of all that nonsense. Because I'm here, I'm keeping it real. This is the way I've been all my life. All my life. It's been about this struggle. And I love it. It's part of my blood. I love it. I love the fight. When those crackers was attacking me, the only reason why I couldn't fight, because I didn't have nothing to fight with. But believe me, once I got a little power, it was on and popping. Come on, bring it. And they saw it too. And they knew, oh, this Negro here. Woo, I love it. I like fighting somebody who's all powerful. You do remember the Vietnam War, right? These devils in America said, we're going to go over there and bomb them back to the Stone Age. Well, they did drop bombs. They killed many Vietnamese people. But when it was all said and done, who was the damn loser? And you know why they lost? They lost because of the heart of those people. That's the reason why. You don't have no heart. They was determined to fight this foreign enemy coming into their country by all means necessary. You talk about it, but you don't want to be about it because you don't want to get hurt. It might mess up your clean white shirt. You know, blood splatter on your clean white shirt. But I would rather die with honor. I would die with my women and children looking at me as a man rather than some punk coward with a ticket in my hand taking my family to the Black Panther movie. See, let me say, see, you don't have that spirit. You keep talking about, I'm a god, I'm a goddess, but you don't have that nature in you to fight. And I understand why you don't, because we've been getting our ass kicked for 500 years. You know, you've been getting your ass kicked for 500 years. All the fight is out of you. Let me just be a slave. Let me get a ticket to the Black Panther movie and call it a day, and get me a bottle of wine, and then knock my wife a few times. You know, when we get home, put the kids to sleep early. I'd rather do that. I don't want to fight. Oh man, that's because of the leadership. Black conscious, Black power supposed to be the leadership, and they don't inspire you to fight. The only thing they inspire you to do, can you donate to my Patreon account? Will you donate to my GoFundMe? That's the only thing they ever do. They don't inspire you to get up and really bring it to this beast once and for all. They talk about it. They don't know how to bring it to the beast. They're not competent. But the time has come, and that's why we need each other, because we do have a lot of competent people who's ready to do it. Let me say this again. See, I have no problem with voting, education, two-parent families, all these things y'all talk about. I have no problem with it. They beautiful. We have to use things effectively. If our leadership was competent, there are many of you who talk about, I want a black nation, build an all-black nation. Well, you know, we can actually get our start right here in America, which will really be easy to do. You know why? Look at this. The state of Mississippi. The state of Mississippi, they say, have a very, very high population of soul brothers and sisters anyway. Very high population. Now, if our leadership was in any way competent, you know what we could easily do? The only thing we have to do is move to the state of Mississippi and start taking it over. And you know these crackers don't want to live around us anyway, so they will start leaving the state of Mississippi. And we could actually take over the state of Mississippi and make it our own right here in America. You'll still be an American. You still be American. You can still have YouTube and Facebook and all the wonderful things that y'all like to do. And you still be an American, but you will have a state that you can control, and you can prove to yourself and the world that you can live without these crackers and do for your damn self. You have a whole state that you can take over and grow the food the way you want to grow it, raise the animals the way that you want to do it, and raise your children Afrocentric, however the hell that you want to raise your babies, the way that you want to do. Just by moving, encourage our people to move, and if they can't move, the rest of us who are not in the state of Mississippi support our people going to the state of Mississippi and take the damn state over. It's simple as that. You hear what I'm saying to you? Our state, Mississippi, could be our state overnight. You don't have to go to Africa. Because many of y'all just talk that crap. You're not going no damn Africa anyway. We could have the state of Mississippi right here. Ain't nothing they could do about it. There's nothing they could do about it. The governor would be a soul brother. The first lady of Mississippi would be a soul sister. We control and run everything easily. And then what is it? What is it next to Mississippi? Alabama. Dr. King said, keep your eyes on the prize. And you look at Alabama. Beep, beep, beep. Oh man, you don't have leadership. You don't have leadership, man. You don't have to ask these suckers for nothing. Just do it. We have the resources. We are in the best position ever in history. Of course, you're going to get some kind of opposition, but what really could they do? You can't stop nobody from moving nowhere in this country. We take over Mississippi and slowly move over to Alabama. We can get Georgia, whatever we want to do here. You still an American. You are still protected under the laws of the federal government, all that kind of good stuff. And you will be liberated. Because actually a state, the way a state is set up, a state can be independent. It can run and govern itself. It does not need the federal government. So that shows you, if you can take over a state, just like those Mormons did in Utah. If you go to Utah, those Mormons control the government. They control how things are done in the state of Utah. Now on the minimum level, we could become just like the Amish and just get out of the system, period. You get certain farmland and go out into the rural areas and do your thing. You don't be dependent on electricity and gas. The hell with YouTube and Facebook. And you could do that also. Matter of fact, we need to do that. Because you cannot become independent being dependent on a system that is not going to last forever. Oil is running out. You got problems with fresh water. Things is not going to be the way that we live now is not going to always be that way. Now, oh, well, see, whew. Now, there are many of you who you're really not thinking very clear, because I hear some of you say, well, I want my own nation and my own neighborhood and things of this nature. But I don't want to live with homosexuals. I don't want to live with all this riffraff. Well, let me tell you something. See, y'all need to stop tripping on our brothers and sisters who are homosexual. You need to stop tripping on our people who are married to Caucasian people. You need to stop tripping on stuff, period. Get the state of Mississippi. Concentrate on becoming independent. Once you get the state of Mississippi, remember, you control that environment. You control the education. You control the environment. For an example, with rats. Very simple experiment with rats. Now, rats, if you give them proper food, give them the room, there's no violence, rats get along. But if you take away that food, if you put in too many rats in a space, all kinds of violence, all types of unnatural behaviors, the rats first start falling out. All kinds of things happen because that's not the proper environment. That's a stressful type environment. Once you change that environment, homosexuality is not natural. A lot of the things that we do is not natural. Once you take away the things that produce these behaviors, they would disappear. Homosexuals cannot reproduce. So once those brothers and sisters who are that, once they leave this life, there's no replacements, because the society that you build don't produce that. It's not natural. You produce an environment where that no longer is a factor. Not to say, see, that's still part of us. Not to say it won't appear, but you don't have to worry about it the way the rest of the country it would be. Don't worry about that. What they said, let God handle it. Y'all talk about this, that you believe in God. Let God handle those things. Look out for your damn self. Stop worrying about homosexuals and the lesbians and people doing whatever. Forget all that. Concentrate on making yourself right. Concentrate on building an environment that is good for your babies. And believe this, just like the rats, you don't have to worry about it no more. Just change the environment. And once you get, if we could get the state of Mississippi or any state, create ambassadors. Send your ambassadors to China, to Africa, wherever you want to send your ambassadors, so that you can make friendships outside of the United States, because if the federal government ever want to make a move on you, you got some friends that can help you defend yourself against these bastards. Even Russia. Send your ambassadors out and make friends around the earth. That's what I like about Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro, Cuba was a small island, but Fidel Castro hooked himself to Russia and to places in South America. So when the government of America started coming after him, they had to be very careful, because we might mess around and make Russia mad. See, they got to think about stuff like that. Right now, there's an issue. There's a fight over there in Asia. Man, what is that? Anyway, China is fighting somebody over there, over this territory. And but the reason why America don't want to make a move is because if they do, they might have to deal with China. See what I'm saying? We have to think smart. We have to think smart in these issues here. I know y'all love black scholarship. I know that. But you don't need black scholarship. What you need is a crime scene investigator. Because a crime scene investigator, what has happened to us is a crime against humanity, and you need a crime scene investigator to really get into the case and look at all the facts down to detail, not fill you up with some type of emotion. Black scholarship is nothing but, oh, y'all gods and goddesses and all this other stuff, and kings and queens, make you feel good. But it don't change your condition at all. You must understand that we're dealing with a bully. These people are bullies. Excuse me a second. You're dealing with a bully. And I'm going to say this in my conclusion to the men. I'm talking to the men. Sisters too, but to the men. We're dealing with a bully. I had to deal with a bully. Now, the only way I got rid of this bully, I had to fight this sucker. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I tried to be nice. I worked with the bully, and it just wasn't working. And I know you're scared. See, come on now. Let's be honest. I know you being afraid to die is natural. It's natural to be afraid to die. I was afraid of this bully with my life. I was scared. But it got to the point I stood all I can stand. I can't stand no more. It's either him or me. And I told that I want to say a word. Woo, because that makes me emotional. I told this bum, I said, look, I know you can beat me up and all this kind of good stuff. You stronger than me and whatever. But let me tell you something, punk. You got to sit on the toilet one day. You're going to turn your back one day. And guess what? When you sit on that toilet and turn your back, I'm going to have a crowbar. I'm going to have a brick. I'm going to have something to bust you upside your head. I'm going to make sure you don't get up no more. And don't you know that dude left me alone? He crazy. It's amazing you become crazy when you decide to fight for yourself. You crazy. You insane. As long as you let people kick you in your ass, it's all right. But when you decide to fight for yourself, oh, they crazy. Oh, no. We're not having it. So if it come down to it, I die. We die. So what? But see, this is the thing. If you can give that sucker a black eye, believe it, he's going to think twice before coming at you again. Believe that. So if the men of this black conscious, black power community, if it came down to it, if you gave this sucker a black eye, even if we die, so what? You will get a different respect. People will look at you much differently. Not only this cracker, but people from around the world. Like, wow, did y'all see that? Yeah, they lost the fight, but damn, did you see that? You see that black eye they gave America? I want to say this too, in our strategy. See, America, in the eyes of the world, is this fake peace-loving country. But we know that these people are bastards. We know how evil and wicked they are. So in your strategy, what you want to do is we need to lift that sheep's clothing off of this wolf so people around the earth can really see these bastards for who and what they are. We need to do that, because if you give them a black eye, in the eyes of the world, we will look like the bad guy. And you don't want that. The world needs to see these devil children as they really are. That's one of the advantages that the civil rights movement had, because due to those cameras, the world was able to see children and women getting bit by dogs, sprayed with fire hoses. And President Kennedy at the time, this was a problem. You don't want this type of image being shown around the earth. Something had to be done. See, you just have to be smarter. All this emotional stuff don't mean nothing. Be smart. Take your resources. It's easier to do than we think. We could be successful overnight, and we could be the greatest generation ever produced. And Marcus Garvey and Malcolm and all our freedom fighters, Harriet Tubman, all those who came before us, if they were here with us, they would be so proud. They said, wow, look what they done. Look what they done. They put this stuff to rest once and for all. Your children and our women, they would be so, you'd be shocked. All the weeds start coming out of people's heads. All the blonde and the green. And the children all of a sudden said, yes, sir. Yes, father. You'll be shocked the type of respect you'll start getting. But you're not going to get that because you're not earning it. You want somebody to give you something on a platter. No, it's not going to happen that way. They took you by force. You're going to get yourself up out of the situation, if necessary, by force. However it comes, let's do it. Just do it. Stop being so damn scared and stop being so stupid. And really, some of these people that we've been listening to need to move them out the way. They're in the way. They're stopping you from being liberated, from being truly free. Because they don't know what the hell they're doing except being emotional. So what? That don't do nothing for nobody. I gave you examples of what could easily be done. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. Unity is not really a problem. It's easy to do. But again, you have a certain segment of our people, they are making a living off of this. This is how they make their living. And they want praise. They want celebrity. So they're not encouraging unity because it's easy to do. They don't want to do it. They're not interested. So that type of people, you need to push them out the damn way. And if this was a different place, they would be killed outright, that type of person. You are interfering with the liberation of a people. These types would be killed, I'm telling you. They would not be pushed out the way. You will see them hanging on a pole in front of a firing squad. That's what would happen to these suckers. That's what they need. You are interfering with the freedom of a people, with your bull crap. With that said, y'all, I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't want to hold you long. We done an hour easy. So with that said, you know, I'm done. How you doing, Brother Craig?
I'm pretty good, brother. You know, just sitting back enjoying the lecture. You know, had a couple of different things I wanted to toss up in the air. I gave my brother Reggie the link. He said he's going to be joining us or whatever.
Okay.
But, you know, as always, man, you know, just sitting back enjoying the lecture. But one thing I wanted to get your opinion on, and it kind of goes with the whole topic of today's discussion. And, okay, for an example, I know me and you might have like sort of difference, you know, of opinion on, you know, the brother Umar Johnson.
Yes, sir.
But regardless of, you know, what my opinion might be on him, like one thing that really disturbed me is like with all of these black people that claim to be so conscious and so pro-black, like I just wonder why everybody made like such of a big issue, you know, like when, you know, the little YouTube beefs. Like, why are black people that claim to be conscious like so caught up in, you know, all of these little YouTube beefs? I mean, that would be like, you know, me getting into it with you, then all of a sudden 100 people got to make videos, monetize it by the same white man that they claim to hate. You know, like, I mean, man, I'm lost here. Like, you know, like sometimes I really start to like second guess, you know, I just start to second guess everything.
You know something, Brother Craig? See, I'm going to tell you. Okay. We're childish. Okay. I mean, it's simple as that. We're childish. And we have a slave mentality. You know, all this thing is new to us. We don't know what the hell we're doing. And we're childish, immature type people. And somebody, you know how we act. I don't know if you experienced this, but you ever talk to a girl and you want to get that girl's attention, and you sort of go outside of yourself and start acting so silly, you know what I mean? You know, because you know this girl like you. And so you can have these people, they get, you know, they come on YouTube or whatever, they start getting these views because this girl likes them, they start acting, and you know, especially among men, we want to show another man how macho and how powerful we are, you know, especially in front of the girl that we like. You know, you don't want to get punked in front of the girl that you like. So you have Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson, they going back and forth because they got the girls watching them. So they want to show the girl, they want to show the girls my muscles bigger than his. You know, that type of thing. I'm very disappointed in well, actually, I'm disappointed in both Tariq and Umar Johnson. Because actually I like both of those brothers. I think they bring something that we need in this struggle. I really do. Especially Brother Umar. You know, I met him, what was that, in 2013, I think? I met him in 2013. And just for that brief moment, I mean, he was cool. I can't say that he wasn't. He was, the things he was talking about that day was on point. And I even brought guests to see him, and everybody liked Umar. But then later on, next thing I know, he took off the shirt and the tie, and he acts like a Suge Knight or somebody. Yes, you know, a Pan-African Suge Knight. He got the baseball cap backwards and talking about, I'm gonna get my boys and we're gonna rough you up. He told Tariq Nasheed he gonna get. I don't need my boys. I can do this. I can do this with myself. Remember
that's definitely out of character right there. You would have never saw Brother Malcolm and you know, Brother Martin, like even though they had differences of opinion and differences of ideology concerning certain issues, you would never see them stoop to that type of level. Absolutely. Like even, you know, Brother Garvey and you know, Brother Du Bois.
Right.
They had difference of opinion, man. You know, they were more professional. That's one thing that I am disappointed in when it comes to, Umar Johnson. I would say, Taalik, he always had like a roughneck type of, persona, even though I love him, you know what I'm saying? I love him and I love like, Hidden Colors, the Hidden Colors series. And, he said some real things, but, I really expected it out of Cyrus Seti because, the type of, mentality that he has anyway.
Right.
I feel that brother Umar, man, especially with, claiming to be raising money for a school, that, there's a certain type of image that he has to, put out there, to the public and stuff, man. And it was way out of character for him to even get caught up in, those little petty YouTube beefs. But I still got, mad love for him, and, I still, follow his teachings and, but yeah, definitely, bro. We got a long way to go.
But those things, when we put ourselves out here in the public, whether we like it or not, it's an image that you have. And he's trying to build this school. He's an educator. So since he's an educator, you have to present yourself in a certain manner in order to be taken seriously. And he just went way far to the left or right, however you want to call it. Now he's this, like I said, Pan African Suge Knight type person. Well, he did recently, as far as I know, he did end the beef that he had with Tariq, which should never have been a beef at all. That should never even got started. But it's still hope for those brothers if they have to take a look at themselves and change their ways. There's still hope for them, and they can be. See, it's not about money. A lot of these people don't understand the celebrity and the fame, all this stuff that you want, and the money and the women. If you did what was right, you would get that and so much more. Don't you know, if we acted in the appropriate manner, we would become immortal. We would enter the realm of Malcolm. Malcolm is, as long as we are here, Malcolm is not going to be forgotten. That's not going to happen. Harriet Tubman, Denmark Vesey, we would be, as a group, as a generation, we would enter the realm of immortality just like them if we did what is necessary. And also, we have the potential to knock the hell out of racism once and for all. It has never been done. It is impossible. Remember, impossible means can't be done. That's a lie. And we can do it. See, I am beginning the process of knocking the hell out of racism simply by getting us up out of that definition. Stop using black, stop using Negro, stop using African, all those things that came from up out of a racist construct, and call us soul people, which I did not make that up. That came from up out of our womb anyway. The only thing I'm going to do is take the concept of soul and build on it. So you can't call me a racist. How can you call me a racist? I didn't say nothing about black. I didn't say nothing about African. I didn't say nothing about no Negro. I'm a soul. I'm a soul man. That takes a whole lot of argument away right there. Just by simply doing that. So, again, these persons, Umar and Tariq, again, I like them, but they're gonna have to start doing something much, much different. Again, if you want to follow people like that and listen to them type of people, whatever, that's your prerogative. But it's a road to nowhere. They're not going anywhere with that. It's not gonna not going nowhere. That's just the reality of it. Make you feel good, make you feel good, make you happy. Make you go down to the liquor store, get you a 40, make you happy. Let me get my 40 and watch Umar Johnson. But that's all you're gonna get. Next thing you know, your babies is getting bit by dogs and sprayed with water hoses. Like, damn, didn't we just do this a few years ago?
So what's the solutions? Like, what's the solutions? Like, looking at the, you know, the state of Black America, for example. Like, well, how do you think we move forward? I mean, you know, enough of the talking, enough of the lectures, enough of the events and selling the conscious paraphernalia and all of that stuff. I mean, what do we do? I mean, how do we move forward? Like, how do we move
Well, first of all, Brother Craig, you have to want to move forward. You can't move forward unless you want to. Just like a woman in an abused relationship.
Yes.
She can't get out of that abused relationship till she wants to do it. You have to want to change your condition. If you're not interested, it's not going to change. When I was locked up, I had to want to get my freedom back. If I did not want that, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So you first have to want. Then the second question is, where we gonna go? You worry about that later. I want my freedom. When I was locked up, I want my freedom. I did not care about what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna live. I want out. I'll worry about that once I get out. Why should I worry about that and I'm not out? That's not even an issue. I'll worry about that once I get out. You have to want to do it. Our people, they don't want to. Even the Black conscious people are comfortable in racism. Look at Sinetta. He's driving his Mercedes Benz.
Yes.
He's eating 3 meals a day. You know, get to play on Facebook, YouTube every day. There is no, why should I want to really be free? I'm doing just like when I was locked up. Some of those guys will tell you, why should I want to be free? Free for what? I get 3 meals a day. We got women in there that we can screw. You know, the only thing, you got everything that you need, you just can't go nowhere. And I'm happy with that. And it had gotten to the point where I was getting comfortable like that. And I'm like, no, I can do better than this. I had to actually talk. I had to talk myself to the point, bruh, you can do better than this. You need to step up your game. You can't be getting comfortable in here. Because I had everything. Like I told you, I had sisters around me all the time. They didn't have no problem coming to my room. You can believe that. I played basketball, had 3 meals a day. I got health care, everything. I just couldn't go nowhere. If I wanted it, I can get liquor. I can get drugs. Everything that I wanted up in that joint. I had to want to get out of there. I'm telling you, I was getting to the point where I was getting comfortable. And the sister that I was messing with, she couldn't understand the fact that I didn't really want to mess with her no more because you distracted my mind because I want out of here. You nice and everything. I got to go. Even if I have to leave you here, I might come back and get you later or whatever. I got to go. So that's what you have to do. That's your mind has to be made up. I'm ready to go. It's time to get the hell out of here. If you can't make up your mind to that point, then what sense to talk about later? I'll worry about that later. I got to get out now. So what's the sense of talking about what I'm going to do after? You got to get out now. I'll worry about that once I get out. And I don't care. Like I told them crackers. I said, let me tell you something, sir. I would rather sleep in a ditch with the mosquitoes than be here with your ass. Simple as that. I don't want to be here. You can have your 3 meals a day. You can have whatever the hell that you have. I don't want nothing that you have here. I'm out. I want out. And so that was my mission. I pissed a lot of people off because they think that you're supposed to be a comfortable slave. I'm out. I don't want to be here until you decide that this is what I want out. That's the only time. And then once you make up your mind, believe me, you don't even have to talk about it no more. What we need to do, whatever. Because clearly we want out. We worry about the rest of it once you get out. Who cares? But then again, I offer some things that we can do. One person in this situation, one person can't do nothing. The people must want it. If the people want to stay incarcerated, nothing I can do about it. Enjoy yourself. But if the people really want to get out of the situation, even in this lecture that I offered today, I gave an example of what could be done, and it don't take much. Easily could be done if you had the right leadership. You don't have the right leadership. And there's nothing these crackers can do. Nothing. Nothing they could do to stop you. Nothing. Least any action in a violent manner, they would look really, really bad in the eyes of the world. And they really don't want that. They really don't want that. See, my experience with them when I was locked up, they don't want to, it's certain things that, you know that they are vicious people, but see, they have, what they say, they have a method in their madness. And once you understand the method in their madness, you know what line you can cross and what line that you need to stay away from. And I played them. I played that game. It's like playing chess, Brother Craig. You have to understand the game and how to play it. Neely Fuller Jr. talks about if you don't understand racism, you might as well leave the whole thing alone because you don't understand how it's done. You don't understand how these crackers think and how they operate. And this emotional stuff, they're not impressed by your emotion. You have to understand your enemy, just like a dog that's trying to bite you. You have to understand what this dog is about. I'm using the dog as an example because I used to have to deal with them all the time. Dogs running up on me trying to bite me. Some dogs are a bluff. And in a lot of cases, because I got used to and understood this dog, I could tell whether the dog was serious or it was all a bluff. So you have to understand the nature of your enemy. You don't understand the nature of this enemy. You just know that he's a mean guy. White folks are so vicious, they so brutal, they're just mean. That's all that you know. You don't understand their thinking process. I understand their thinking process personally because I had to fight them for 10 years. And all of them think that way. Donald Trump, all them suckers up there, the Rockefellers, the Rothschild, they all have this mentality. But you don't understand what it is and how they operate. But that's with anything. Even if you're in boxing, you have to understand how your enemy punches and how they move and things of this nature. We don't know how to fight no more. What's up with us? We watch boxing, we play basketball. All these are games of strategy, and we don't know how to strategize. We don't know how to strategize. What's up with that? Don't know how to fight. What's up with that? I don't get it. Learn how to fight. And here I am a sissy boy, and I'm telling you, I'm jabbed. I'm doing all kinds of stuff with these crackers. I'm having a good time with them. I should have stayed in the crazy house. I was having a good time, man. I took all them smiles off them crackers' face. I took all the smiles away. They was no longer laughing, and I enjoyed myself. But again, I offered some things that could be done in this video lecture, and also I have a video lecture called "The Real Solutions to the Problems of Black America," and I think it's probably in the description box in this video. And most of my videos, I put that lecture because people always ask me, well, what's the real solution? What's the solution? So I put my solution in a video. So if you get a chance, I don't know if you saw that video or not.
Well, I definitely enjoy your videos. Like,
yeah.
I watch them, like, sometimes, 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just whenever I see you upload something, I search you on YouTube, stuff like that. And I just go, because you have, like, such a huge collection. Videos, man, with so much, useful information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm definitely, glad that I, came across you, because I've been listening to you, man, like I've been telling you for, I think, about 10 years. I would say, I know before my first son was born, and you definitely always, kept it real. Like, you do not bite, you're not scared to bite your tongue, just tell it how you see it, so I definitely have to respect that. From a man-to-man type of standpoint.
Yes, sir.
And you also, you put out a lot of, useful information out there. So I would just say, man, I'm definitely here to support you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just continue doing what you're doing.
Well, I'm gonna support you too, brother Craig.
Definitely.
Because I know, let the viewers know that you have a talk show.
Yes.
We're getting ready to come on, that we're getting ready to do.
Yeah, yes, indeed, man. I just love the unity, man. Like, I mean, just to let everybody know out there, I think this was approximately time flies so quick now. Like, when you get my age, man, time just moves so quick. But I think it was about approximately 7 years ago or something like that. I had a talk show to where, we brought on a lot of good, good brothers and sisters, from Facebook, YouTube, from out the conscious community. They used to just basically come on and speak. Man, it was good things, can happen. That's what I'm in search of. I'm in search of, Black unity.
Right.
That's what I want. I'm in search of, just unifying with my people. Like, not trying to use my people, not trying to, subjugate them, or anything like that. I just want, brother and sisterhood, amongst Black people. But it just seems, man, like we just have like this, jealous, egotistical type of mentality.
Yes.
Just to the point to, we're like the crab in the barrel mentality. Like, we hate to see, another brother doing good. And, it's like it seems it's almost as if once one of us, starts to, gather any type of success, we become greedy, selfish. Just like you were using Sonetta for an example. Or we could talk about, Minister Louis Farrakhan, or, it's a whole list of, we could talk about in Haiti, what happened after the Haitian Revolution.
Yes.
Like, almost all leadership over there was corrupt. The
Right.
people within, the confines of the borders, some of them were just living in poverty. You got these guys driving these $200,000 and $300,000 cars. 2 and 3, 4, 5 women on their arm, living in these big, nice mansions and stuff like that. It's almost like when Black people, African people, just, people of color, like,
right.
globally, like, it's almost like once we get money, man, we just forget about where we come from. We forget about where we come from. We forget about, the struggle, where our people come from.
Right.
All of the things, like, if you look at Black people today, look at, I'm sure 3, 4 generations, like, if I go back in my family tree, I come from slaves. I don't come from, no, those Negroes that claim to be Moors and stuff like that. I come from, people who were indentured, more than indentured servants, but I come from, I'm a descendant of slavery.
Right.
So it's like, man, just being able to sit here and speak freely right now, like, that's a luxury that I know a lot of my ancestors died for, and and stuff like that, man. So yes, but it's just so much, man, that that we have to change as a people. Like, somebody was suggesting, and I suggest this all the time. Somebody was suggesting in the chat room, talking about how we just need to just worry about, small tribes. Like, we just small tribes together with Black people that want change. I think one of our biggest problems is we as Black people, we're so brotherly. We think we can change everybody. It's impossible.
Yes.
I just do not feel that nowhere in the history of African people have we ever been living in harmony. That I just don't believe that.
I don't believe it.
I don't think that we've ever been living in harmony, man. We just have to take the ones that want change, the people that, are going to be beneficial to us, man, get them together, and we can build something great. With those that want to exploit us, those that want to aid and abet the oppressor, like, those types, man, we just need to cut ties from. Like, that's just my opinion. You can speak on that a little bit if you choose to. I'm trying to get my brother into here. Okay. He claimed he was going to be joining in shortly, but if not, like, do you have, like, any type of like, schedule where you do your live streams? Like, do you have, like, a certain, like, do you do them weekly? I've been noticing you coming on Sunday.
I was thinking about doing a live stream every Sunday at 2:00.
Okay, you're on Central Time.
Right? I think that, yes, Central Time, 2:00 Central Time. I think that's what I'm going to try to do it, be consistent doing it.
Okay.
In fact, probably stop making small videos and just save everything for Sunday.
Right. But yeah, I mean, but continue. I mean, definitely do not stop, with the videos, man. I mean, man, you put out so much, information.
Well, I've been bringing a lot of new material, lately. And, YouTube took down over 100 of my channels.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
And I saved a lot of those videos on disc. And every time I think that I didn't have really too much to say, I was going to start re-uploading some of my material from, back in the day. But then, I don't know, I start, you have a brain and you start thinking and you just want to speak what's on your mind right then and there. So I'm going to just have to hold back on the, re-uploading some of those older videos. But what I bring to the party, I guess you could say. And if you notice, I never talk about books and I don't quote from DVDs and things of this nature. And the reason for that is I'm trying to, and I want us to begin to think for ourselves. I want us to use our brain. I don't want you to quote from Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Van Sertima, Malcolm. We need to stop doing all that. Start using your brain. Where do you think they get their information from? They had to be able to think for themselves. All this quoting from the Bible. I can read the Bible myself. You don't have to quote the Bible for me. I can read it myself. I want to know how you think. How do you perceive things? Use your brain, use your mind. Everything that I'm presenting before us today comes from the fact that I sit back, use my own mind, and try to come up with a solution to a problem myself. It work, might not work, who knows? But it's my solution. I come up to it myself. I'm not going to continue to quote somebody, and I'm not going to continue to seek information that don't mean nothing. If you are trying to fix your car, you don't go to a plumber's manual. You go seek a car manual for that specific car. We are in a situation where we have all this information, which is good, but it's the wrong information that you need for the condition that we find ourselves in. It's incorrect, because if it was the right information, you and I would not be talking about it right now. We would be in the process of the real solution. But the information that we're getting is not proper. It's proper for a university. It's proper for a science lab, but it's not it's proper for a theological school, but it's not proper to liberate a people from up out of their condition. And again, also, just like you just said, you cannot really believe in reality that you're going to be able to be able to liberate a large number. However, at the same time, if you have a strong minority, that those who are in the majority may be inspired by that minority if you do the proper things and you are being successful, because everybody wants to be on the winning team. People are not jumping out joining these teams because they don't see success. They see a bunch of talk. They're not seeing real success. Louis Farrakhan can go Savior's Day, and thousands of people will come and hear him talk, and that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get nothing else out of the deal. So what sense do that make, to draw thousands of people and you do nothing? It don't make any sense. Matter of fact, as you know, Minister Farrakhan was able to draw over 1 million black men, soul brothers, to Washington, D.C. in 1995. I was there. And many of them was disappointed. He gave this big speech about the damn dollar bill. Who cared? Because he's not a leader. And that's another thing. Many of us cannot accept the fact that so-and-so is just not a leader. He's not a leader. And that's just the bottom line. Yeah, you like him. Just because you like somebody don't make them a leader. Just because somebody have a baby don't make them a parent. All of us don't have good parenting skills. We can make a baby, but we suck at being parents. So that's where we stand here. It's a lot of things that we have to get through. But if the thing about it also, if you don't want to be liberated, you like being a comfortable slave, then so be it. I would rather somebody tell me, man, I'm just a comfortable slave and I just like it. I have more respect for you. Don't go around here talking about black power and all this other crap. And you are just as much of a comfortable slave as anybody else is. The Coons and the Uncle Toms, you ain't no different than they are. George Washington is in your pocket just like theirs. You go to the local grocery store where the Coons go to. What make you so damn special and different? Ain't nothing special about you. You're a comfortable slave just like them. Only difference is black power family, like that makes a difference. Well, y'all, with that said, I don't know what happened to Brother Craig. He slipped off. But I really enjoyed myself today, and I'm going to try to make this a regular lecture on Sundays. I will not be here, I'm for sure. I should not be here next Sunday. I shouldn't be here. If I make it home in time, I might do something and I might not. I might be too tired. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to be here. I know I'm not going to be here Sunday. Just thinking about it, not going to do it because I probably won't even be home till late. So, but I'm going to try to make this video lecture a staple, 2 o'clock on Sundays. And I would hope that although it's just a few of us here, that at some time, somewhere, use your brain. Because, I can't do this by myself. What can we do? Because we are scattered everywhere. I know some of y'all are in North Carolina, some of y'all in Mississippi, some of y'all in Arkansas, some of y'all in Texas. We scattered, but what can we do? Being scattered and only on the internet, what can we do to try to do something instead of just coming on YouTube every Sunday and run my mouth? What can we do? What can we do? Something. Buy a bubblegum machine, a black power bubblegum machine, raise some money that way, something that we can do. And, if you get a black power bubblegum machine, you can take the profits and give it to Umar Johnson School whenever it opens. Anyway, with that said, I enjoyed myself. Thank y'all for listening. And thank you, Brother Craig, for joining me. And we'll stay on the line, after the broadcast drop off and speak a little bit real quick. And man, I love y'all. My audience is y'all something else. I do love you. I'm glad that I am not alone because I thought I was going crazy at first, but now I see that I'm on time and it's a good feeling. And I'm not being arrogant or anything. I do know that what I bring to the table, if we act upon it, it could really get it could really get the job done. And like I say, we need to end this crap once and for all. Let's stop handing this situation down to another generation. Let us be the generation that puts this, nips this in the bud once and for all. Thank you for listening. As Don Cornelius always told us, as important, I wish us love, peace, and soul.